Ah. Yeah. All right, so let's get started. I know that the whole day we've been talking a lot about the victim. But today, FSL India wants to look at it a slightly different way. We want to start looking at it from the bully's point of view. So what's behind the bully? All right? Many times, okay, let's start off with an exercise. I have a question for you all. Okay, I want you all to close your eyes. Think about one situation in your life. It can be from when you were a child. It can be from 2 weeks ago, whatever it is, preferably when you were a child. Think about a situation that was very stressful for you. All right? I want you to think, what did you feel just thinking about this situation? I'll give you a few seconds. Okay. If anyone would like to just shout out, what are some of these emotions that you felt? Fear. Sad. Shamed. Anyone else? Humiliated. Yeah. Anyone else from the back? Aggressed. Yeah. Suffering. Anger. That's a lot of emotions. Did you have someone at that point of time to go and express these feelings to? Yes or no? No? Yes? No. Wow, that's a lot of no's. Any yes? Just one yes. So the person who said yes, did it help you expressing? So? Why? So the space was not comfortable. Okay, so now the people who said no, you didn't have a good space, if you had a good space, what do you think your emotions would have been now? What do you think? What would be your emotion now? Would you be happy? Would you still be sad? Changed. It would be very different. Very different. And we don't know how, right? But very different. So similarly, we don't know who the bully is. We don't know who the victim is. Some of us might not even know if we have been bullied or not. But one thing that we are very sure of, that is very common with us, are emotions. Each of us experienced emotions. So we don't know if we were the bully, the victim, or we don't even know the situation. One thing we do know for sure is what? Our actions depend or come from our emotions, and our emotions come from our interpretation of a situation. And that interpretation of a situation can be different for different people. So we want to point out here that a bully is not born, right? A bully is made. We kind of wanted to touch upon the definition of bullying, but already a lot of our friends have done it. So we're not going to, go into it again. Okay. Let's touch upon what it is in India. How does bullying look like in India, or cyberbullying look like in India? Now, first of all, bullying is a harsh, in itself, it's just a very harsh situation to be in. All the more online bullying, it gives no identity to the person. So that way, to be able to track the bully, to be able to address the bully, all of it, it just gets a lot more tough. As you know, India is a huge country. These are some, right now, this is the situation in India that has to do with cyberbullying, all right? 1 in every 4 kids have been bullied more than once in a total of, more than once, and around 43% of children have fallen prey to cyberbullying. We rank number 3 on the list of online bullying. 70% of the cyberbullying activities happen over Facebook. Usage of mobile phones by almost 80% of the teens makes a common and popular medium for anti-bullying or for bullying. Many people get away with bullying because it's also just brushed off as, a traditional, way of just having fun, or, I was just friendly with you, so that's different reasons basically, and it gets brushed away. 90% of the teens have agreed that they have ignored bullies, and very few youth have actually taken a step to do something about it. And the same as our Philippines group, girls are more, or fall prey more as victims of bullying. Victims of bullying are usually also fall prey to committing suicide, sadly. All right, so you must be thinking, okay, so you have so many issues, what does your country do about it? It's very similar again to our partners. Our country does not have any specific law for bullying. But what we do have are different acts that do address online bullying or cyberbullying. And if you take a good close look at this, you would see, for example, the person who is caught engaging in cyberbullying could also be fined with around 10 lakh rupees. So big fines, big words, big actions. Around 10 lakh rupees is how many dollars? $15,000. That's one. That's just one. There are different others that you can go to prison for up to 2 years. Yeah? And you can also be imprisonated for up to 3 years, depending on the crime. So you would say it's all set then. You have bullying. You have, acts to do with bullying. Why are you here? Now, this is the issue with India. We do have these. We do have all the words written down, but nothing is acted upon. There's nothing that's really done by the government to address it. For example, if I was a victim of bullying, and if I had to go and report it, they will accept my report, but I will probably never get a follow-up as to what is happening. Again, why? India is a huge country. Huge country. Exactly. We have so many other problems to look at. Cyberbullying is not even considered a big thing. Secondly, India has a very good access to internet. It's easily available. It's very cheap. Internet is extremely cheap. So every and anyone can have access to internet. Good, fast internet. So if they had to go behind all of the people who were bullying or all of the, accused, it would take probably half the country. All right. So because of this, because our government is not able to do something or is not really able to follow up with acting upon these laws, we need to take things into our own hands. And that's why we also as an organization think prevention is always better. We do have organizations in India, local organizations who have started social media pages to encourage online safety, online laws, and they kind of help the locals to ensure that their pages are safe, their pictures are safe, whatever it is. But all of these are done by the local people or local organizations. So what is FSL India doing about this? FSL India does have quite a few projects. We are more than 20 years old organization. One of the areas that we work under, we work under three areas basically: education, community development, and volunteering. Volunteering. So three. One of the main areas that we work under is quality education. So under this program, we have around 4 projects. Number one is the 100th Monkey project. This project has to do with reaching out to local schools in the area and has more to do with the value-based education. It also encourages the students to be involved in the community, active in the community. The whole ideology of the 100th Monkey, you might think it's funny. Why are you calling your program 100th Monkey? So unprofessional, yeah. But it has a wonderful meaning behind it. It's basically a whole story where there was one monkey who picked up on an island, basically a monkey on an island that picked up a mango and started washing that mango. Slowly another monkey saw this, picked it up and also started washing. It took a little while and then, a couple of other monkeys saw this. They didn't know why this monkey was doing it, but they also did it. But what was kind of noticed later on was that when the number of monkeys hit to 100, from the 100th monkey, this action exploded and went to different other islands as well, causing a huge ripple effect of the act. So this is why we have named our project 100th Monkey, because we want to ensure that, or we want to believe that through this project, we will be able to target students. And once the 100th student is targeted, and we already are doing more than that, it will definitely explode. Our ideology will definitely explode someday. We also have two digital literacy programs. One is the eSaathi program and one is the DoBrain program. Now, DoBrain has to do more with digital cognitive development, and eSaathi is to be able to make technology available to rural areas as well. So through these two programs, what FSL India does is we try to educate our users with the safety of, or with the effects of using digital mediums. What are the do's and don'ts? How do you use it? What are safe methods to use it? And when you don't know what to do, what do you do? So these are a few things that go under that project. And the last one is the SLT, which is also known as the Social Leadership Program. So this program basically helps train our youth, our older youth, and make them active citizens in the communities. So it's a 3-day-long training where we help them understand what are the issues their community faces, and they also help in developing a mini project to address those issues. So what does FSL India propose at the end of the day? Number 1, create awareness. Number 2 is approach the bully with compassion. Now you might ask me, excuse me, madam, how can you ask me to approach a bully, someone who is torturing me, with compassion? And we are not telling you to completely ignore and give all of your compassion. Basically, what we are saying is, when you create awareness, when you tell your little children that this is where a bully comes from. And again, where do we know where the bully comes from? Their emotions and their interpretation of a situation. Once we make this information or this awareness available to our children, it makes it a lot more easier for them to understand when a bully approaches them. And when they're able to understand this, they're able to deal with it in a way that's not going to hurt them, not going to hurt the bully, and that way they are not going to go and become another bully. So that way we're breaking the cycle there and stopping with that bully. So with that, we approach with compassion, where we say we understand where the bully comes from. I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with being bullied, but I'm not going to become a bully. Also, coming from a country like India, with our national father, the father of our nation, Gandhi, and people like Mother Teresa, compassion is a big thing in India. And so we'd like to be able to, also extend that compassion out to the bully, because the bully is not just the bully, but also once was the victim. And the last point that we propose is communication. Basically, providing platforms where bullies can safely express themselves. Like a lot of you said, you didn't have anywhere that you could go and talk, or anyone to go and talk to. So we want to be able to provide that. Provide a safe space where the bullies, or the people who have been bullied, or where people who don't know what to do with their emotions can come and safely express it, get the guidance that they need. And secondly, we would also say providing responses. So developing a toolbook or a toolbox, a handbook as to how can you deal with the bully for the victim. What are some things that you can say to the bully or to your bully when someone has bullied you? Because at that very point of time when you are being bullied, it's not easy to walk up to the person and say, it's okay, no problem, I understand you. At that time, you also want to fight. But when we provide a couple of responses, or we tell our children, this is a safe way that you can respond to the bully, and give them those to use instead. So yes, in our conclusion, FSL India kind of wants to, I know, after the whole day, looking into what the victim does, we're trying to get you to understand what the bully goes through. And hopefully, if we are able to kind of raise this awareness with our children as to how they can, understand the bully, then hopefully it will kind of break a cycle as to how they will respond and kind of, step back on becoming one. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?